So in this video, basically, I will try to cover a question, which is why understanding your reality and limitations can actually make a lot of money in your life. And not just money, but you can also save a lot of bad decisions in your life. But as this is a finance channel, I will only cover the financial aspect or the money aspect of it. To answer this question, I would just give a brief background of what kind of personality I am, how I am a bit successful financially. Based upon my observation, I have three kind of personality traits that I have observed. First, I am a bit lazy person. Second, I sometimes hate doing hard work. And third, I hate competing with other people. And sometimes throughout my life, I have seen that this kind of trait has helped me to avoid situations where other people just fall into. Because being a bit lazy can always trigger a defensive mechanism where you always try to look for opportunities or loopholes in the system to just pass through it without having to do a lot of hard work. And I've been that kind of personality where everybody is banging their head against the wall. I would always look for whether there is a hole near the ground to just pass through it. And maybe it's the right thing to do, or maybe it's the wrong thing to do. But that worked for me. So that's why I'm sharing with you about it. Or maybe I'm completely wrong. I'm coming from a privileged perspective where I don't have any financial responsibility on my head. But let me tell you one thing. Every family has some kind of financial responsibility or some kind of social responsibility. And sometimes, as a non earner in the family, we cannot directly confront those ideas or confront our society, social pressure, like family or relatives. To understand the previous question that I raised, let's hear a story about me. And maybe you can resonate with my story because a lot of I'm not something different. A lot of Indian people or Indian teenagers during 18 to 24 faces some kind of similar things in their life. This story goes way back where I was a student and I just graduated. I had two options: to find some job or just do nothing and hope for the best. But there comes one of my friend who tells me, Sankit, you have been very smart in your bachelor's, and I was the top 10 students throughout my 4 years bachelor's program. And he said, oh, you're a bit smart student, why not you come and join me on UPSC journey? Let's go and crack the UPSC. At that time, I don't know, having no path in life, maybe some people go for UPSC, maybe some people don't go for UPSC, but I didn't go for it. And my framework for not going was I'm an average person, lazy person. I don't like hard work. All the probabilities are against me. Why I will go and compete in an exam where I don't have an edge? These exams have a lot of smart people who are top 1% of India. They have a lot of things in their favor playing out. Maybe it's a luck. Maybe it's they have a good upbringing. Maybe they are trained to do such kind of exams. Maybe they have a high IQ. In that situation, I was completely honest with myself, stating that, Sankit, you are a topper in an average university, and that's all. You are an average student. Understanding your reality and limitations sometimes will help you to avoid decisions that you will regret in your life going forward. Now let's take a second scenario where I took the UPSC exams. I wasted 5 years of my life chasing that dream. I lost 5 years of my financial stability. I lost 5 years my youth where I had the opportunity to make money. That 5 years I explored a lot of things. I found a job. I saved a lot of money. I went to foreign country. I studied masters and now I'm doing PhD. So you don't know. Life can take you anywhere if you just make right decisions based upon your understanding of your limitation. Sometimes it really helps to avoid making wrong decisions in life if you just underestimate yourself a bit rather than overestimating your capabilities. And same thing is similar in finance. If you're trying to be an investor, if you're trying to be a trader, there are risks associated with it. But before you enter, you need to understand that there are a lot of smart people doing the same thing that you are doing. And just understanding that will give you a lot of perspective, and you will be a bit fearful as well to make any kind of decisions irrationally. In finance, you don't need to be extremely smart person. You just need to identify the boundaries in which you want to play. You want to create your own level playing field, build your edge based upon your knowledge. The thing you should not do is underestimate the market itself, because the market itself can be unpredictable. There are a lot of times when probabilities will not be in your favor, and that's completely fine, because in my previous videos I have explained market always gives you 50-50 probabilities of winning and losing. And how much effort you put, or what kind of edge you look into the system, or what kind of loophole you look into the system, will increase your probability of winning by, let's say, 40-60 or 30-70, but it will never be 100% in your favor. And you have to accept that fact. So I will only leave you with the thought that never underestimate the market, never overestimate your capabilities, and don't blindly copy other strategy. Because the moment you start playing someone else's game, you are already in losing position. See you later.